Hi, I think today I'm going to do a story time because I want to upload something and I can't bother to edit very much because I'm lazy and I don't have much time. So I don't know what I'm going to call it though, because I wrote it down as we saved a girl, but we didn't exactly save her. She wasn't going to die. I think I'm going to call it like something like we found a lost girl or something. She wasn't like missing. Anyway, so this was a lot of years ago, like a lot of years ago. This is when I lived in Sheffield. How old were we? I think... Yeah, we were about 10. We being me and my best friend. I'm going to call her... I don't know if she wants to be mentioned, so I'm going to give her a fake name. Apple, because it's apple juice on my windowsill, okay? So me and Apple... me and Apple... I actually can't do this. I can't. No, we are. Apple, okay? Apple. Me and Apple have been friends since we were like little, like tiny little, like still like baby little. And we're still best friends now. We just don't see each other that much because I moved away. But, you know, still best friends. Yay. And we went to the same primary school and we lived really close and we used to watch school together, play after school, you know, all this. And there was a park really close to where we both lived, and it was like there was an actual park. There was like a skate park, and then there was just like a huge field, and there's like houses along one side, and then the road at the other side at the top. So we were in like the field doing like handstands and stuff. I don't know why, we just were. Okay, shut up. Yeah, so we were doing handstands and stuff, and obviously we were spotting each other to like hold each other's legs or like say yeah come down or whatever. And I can't do handstands to save my life. Never have been able to, so obviously I was doing terrible, falling over the place, but you know, there you go. Apple is actually quite good at handstands. I don't know if she is now, I haven't seen her do a handstand. Don't know why I would have, but you know. So she was in a handstand, and I was like this, like waiting to catch her if she fell, and I was like watching, I was like, okay. Look to the left, look to my side, and there was this girl, this little girl, she looked about maybe 4, 5, 6, maybe, I'm not sure. Stood there in her pyjamas, and I was like, it's a ghost. She's a ghost. I was like, Apple, get down, quick, come down. And this girl, she was like stood there. She had like pink pyjamas on, and she had like her slippers on, and she had dark hair. And I was like, oh my god, she's a ghost. She's a ghost. We're going to die. And I was just scared, and she was just stood there watching us like do handstands, and I was like, okay. So we talked. Like, Apple got down, and we were like trying to talk to her, and we were like, are you with your family or anything? She's like, no. And we were like, where's your family? She's like, they're at home. And I was like, she said, it was either a dad and a mum were out and her sister was in watching her or something, but she like was either asleep or she was playing a game or something like that. I don't remember exactly. It was a while ago. And yeah, she just literally just wandered out onto the street alone in her pyjamas. And we kept asking her why she was in her pyjamas, and she was like, no, these are my clothes. And I was like, why are you wearing slippers? She's like, these are my shoes. Like, she was adamant that was her clothes and her shoes. They were not pyjamas and slippers. Clothes and shoes, okay? That's it. We had to go along with that. Oh, because she was getting mad. So, we were just, like, talking to her and trying to figure out, like, where she'd come from and, like, where she lived so we could take her home. We were trying to ask her, and she was, like, saying, oh, I don't know. And then she was, like, eventually she was like, oh, I do know. I live up there. So we were like, okay, let's go. We'll take you home. And just across from this field that we were in, there was this estate, and it was like a fancy one with like security cameras and a gate that you had to know the code to get into, but the gate was like open like this much, not very much at all. And she went and squeezed in, and me and Apple looked at each other and we were like, do we go in? Like, what? So we followed her in, and we were like, okay, let's go. There is security cameras in here, so we were kind of like, okay. She was like, yeah, I live here. And then we were following her, and then she just stopped and she turned around and we were like, which one's yours? And she's like, I don't live here. And we were like, are you joking me? Are you joking? You don't live here. You just brought us into this. Like, we're trespassing right now. There's security cameras and you don't live here. We just broke into this estate and you don't live here. Like, so we were like, okay, we need to go then. We need to go before somebody sees us. So we snuck back out, and we were like, okay. So we're just waiting outside this estate, and it's like the estate is like here, and then like the road goes up like that around this corner, and like, this bit's like a main road. so we're like stood on this like street outside this estate, and we're like, okay, where do you live then? Because we need to take you home, because you can't be out like on your own. It was probably about 6 or 7, maybe 8. I think it was probably between 7 and 8, to be honest. But we were like, yeah, you need to be at home. You need to be in bed, asleep with your family. You can't be out here, just like strolling around. Like, Sheffield is a very dodgy place. There were some really dodgy people there, and she could have very easily just been snatched up. So we were like adamant to make sure she got home okay. So she was like, oh no, I know where I live. I'll go home. And we were like, okay, we'll walk you there. And she's like, no. So we were like, all right. And she's like, I'm going. And she was like, you can't come. And we were like, okay. So we like waited, and she like walked around this corner. And we were like, we're not leaving. We're just going to like stand here and watch her and see where she goes. And there was a man walking down like the street, and we were just stood there. We were like watching her walk up. And she stops this man, and she's like talking to him. And he's like looking around, and he's like, where's your parents and that? And then we came around the corner, and we're like, and he was like, oh, is she with you? And we were like, she has been for like the past 10 minutes, because we found her, and she's like, we can't figure out where she lives, she won't tell us. And he's like, okay, we need to call the police. And she's like freaking out, she starts crying. So he calls the police, and she's like crying, and like it's sad. Like, she's really cute, bless her. And Apple picks her up, and she's like holding her, and she's like, it's okay, you're not in trouble, they're not going to shout at you or anything, they're just going to make sure you get home safe. So yeah, she was like, oh, it's okay. And then she put her down, and then she was still crying, so I picked her up, and I was like, you're okay, like, listen, it's going to be fine. The nice people, it's fine, you're not in trouble at all, you're not in trouble. So the guy calls the police, obviously, I already said that, and we were just like waiting for the police to come, and I was just holding her, and she was just crying. And she's like, please don't call the police, And she's like crying, and I'm like, no, it's fine, they're going to help you. And eventually the police pull up, and we're just kind of stood here, and they get out, and they're like, oh, hi, hee. I just want to make it clear, they did not say hee. That's just me being stupid. They just said hi, so, yeah. And they're like talking to her, and the guy's like, okay, I'm going to go now. Walks off. Me and Georgia stay, obviously. And eventually, the police officer asks us some questions, like how we found her, like what, basically everything I just told you. And then he's like, okay, we need to go to this, the police station, so we can find out where you live and everything. I'm sorry, there's a picture of my boyfriend on my windowsill, and I keep looking at it because he's just so beautiful. Okay, sorry. Right. Where was I? Oh yeah, she got in the police car. She was still crying her eyes out, but she was so scared. And then they went, and then we never heard anything. So I don't know where she is right now. But yeah, me and Apple were like, oh my god, we are heroes. We were 10. But yeah, it was an interesting experience, and it was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. I've only recorded for 10 minutes, and I'm going to edit it and everything. But yeah, so it's not that long of a story. It's not really that interesting of a story, but it was very big for us in that moment, and I remember it very vividly. Well, not really, because I couldn't remember half the details. But yeah, I just hope that girl is safe with her family now, and, happy. So yeah, that's basically the story. If you want more stories, tell me. But yeah. The end. Dude, I am so awkward. This is actually painful for me to watch, so I just want to apologise for having to put you through watching that. My social medias will be in the description if you want to follow me on there, but, you don't have to. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video, I hope, if you decide to come back. So, okay, bye!